Hi guys, welcome to this channel and thank you so much for staying tuned. If you're joining this channel for the very first time, I want to say a very big thank you to you. Kindly go ahead to subscribe to this channel and like this video if you've also not done so. Today's video is really exciting because in a couple of weeks, I've been having a conversation with a couple of people who've had challenges in trying to get a formal job, just like they were doing before they migrated into the UK. Some of them have come into the UK for their masters, and some people have come in as dependents looking to get a professional job, just like they were doing back home. Now in the UK, it's also possible for you to get that same job that you were doing back home. But the first thing you want to do is that you want to decide and ask yourself, what area do you want to go into? Because some people come into the UK and they decide to change, careers totally. Or some people decide to look for the type of jobs that will afford them, some form of flexibility based on their families and based on other things that they want to do. So it's possible that you come in and then you decided to change roles. But if that's the case, then you need to ask yourself, what are the things that you need to put in place to be able to move into this new role? And the second thing is that if you want to continue with that same job that you're doing, it's also possible. But in the UK, some of those jobs that some of us were doing have been called several other names. So you want to go online to check what other name is this role being called here in the UK. So for example, I realized that if you're in procurement and you get into the UK, some people use the word buyer. Some people use the word purchasing technician. Some people use the word category buyer for procurement in the UK. So if you see such a role, you should know that they are still referring to procurement jobs. So these are some of the things that you need to watch out for while searching out for the role that suits you. The second thing is that you want to put together a very good CV. Now, this is something that I know that a lot of people, have different, perspectives, too. But one of the things that I always say is that in putting together a very good CV, one of the things you need to put in mind is that you need to keep it as simple as possible, not more than 2 pages. Put it in simple English, black ink on white paper. Ensure that while you're crafting that CV, it's possible for you to give it to some people to help you review, or you can send it to some reviewing companies to help you look through. I mean, if you have the funds for it. But some of the tips that I always give is that while writing your CV, try as much as possible to include your most relevant experience in the experience section and put as much details there. But while writing the details of the job, ensure that you've gone online to verify and search for several other jobs in that same space and look at the requirement, the person's specification, the job specification, the skills that they require. And while crafting your CV, ensure that those are the things that you want to match in your CV. In your experience, section, while writing some of the things that you did in your former experience, one of the things you want to capture is that as you include the duties, so say for example, you are an accountant and you said you helped the company to manage their books. As you write, I helped the company to manage their books, but I also helped them to reduce or cut costs by doing so. So you want to match what you did to an achievement, because that's what people are looking for. They want someone who is an achiever, not just a doer. So you want to include that while crafting your duties in your former role. Also, if you have any relevant hobbies or interest that matches up with the job role that you're applying for, you also want to include it in that same CV. Then you want to go on job sites like CV Library, Total Jobs, Read to search for the jobs that are relevant to what you're looking for. So in the job section, you include the jobs that you want, and then you have the location where you include the location where you're currently based, and to pop out several jobs in that location based on what you're looking for. The other tip is that you should also go on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a very good one, because on LinkedIn, you first of all, you need to change your location so that people know that you're now in the UK. And on LinkedIn, one of the advantages is that you can connect with recruiters directly. A couple of recruiters are on there that you can send messages to. Some of them can also reach out to you directly, so it gives you opportunity to be able to network and link with different people. And one of the other things you can do on LinkedIn is that you can look for people who are currently working in some industries or some places that you think you're looking for a job in, and you can send messages to them to connect with them to find out how they've been able to get into those places and to share tips with you on the things that you can do. So these are some of the advantages that LinkedIn offers you. As a matter of fact, it was on through LinkedIn that I was able to apply for the role that I got when I came into the UK. The next tip is that some roles that you want to move into, so for someone that is thinking about moving into another role, for example, if you're moving into something like project management, you might need to do a certification to be able to get into that space. And one of the popular certifications is the Prince 2. That's the one that a lot of people take. So you want to take that so that you can begin to align yourself for that new role. Or you want to move into data analysis. So you need to look at, doing some trainings or some certifications so that you can begin to navigate yourself into that data analysis role. Then one other thing that I'd like to share with you is the fact that in the UK, you can also go to some of the local job centers that are around your locality. I realized a friend was telling me recently that she had gone to a job center, to look for, jobs. And at the job center, they brought a couple of recruiters who were looking for different people to move into, some of those jobs. And that was how she was able to, submit her CV and, she got the job that she's currently doing. So that's something that you can also explore in your locality. In summary, in the UK, it's possible for you to get the job of your choice, same as what you were doing back, before coming into the UK. So it's possible for you to get into that space. All you need to do is that you just need to be persistent at it, because there are several times that you might get a lot of rejections, but the thing is that you don't need to give up. You just need to continue to tweak and adjust, because the reason is about the system. The way it works is that because you're coming in, a lot of people will look at the fact that, one, you don't have an experience in the UK. So sometimes that could be something that, a lot of recruiters look at, and then it makes them, send a lot of rejections. But all I will say to you is that just keep at it. Keep doing it, keep tweaking, keep adjusting, keep connecting with people who have had this, similar experiences and have been able to scale through. And with no time, you're going to get that job that you're looking for. If this video has been helpful to you, kindly, share with someone if you've not done so. Thank you so much for staying tuned to this channel. See you next time.